All right, Matt, we have the first of 3 champions from outside organizations joining the UFC, with Raulian Paiva taking on Zhalgas Zhumagulov. And Matt, I'm excited about this one because Zhumagulov, the former Fight Nights global champion at 125 pounds, he's taken on some really tough competition over in Russia. The likes of Ali Bagautinov, who you know and love maybe from this time in the UFC, fought Demetrius Johnson for the title there. He also has a win over Tyson Nam that, I mean, who isn't talking about Tyson Nam and his wild knockout just a couple of weeks ago. So Zhumagulov comes in here in a big spot against Raulian Paiva, and I was actually surprised when I had a look at the odds because these guys opened as almost a pick'em type of fight. Zhumagulov minus 105, Paiva minus 110, just ever so slightly favoring the Brazilian fighter here. But the odds have switched quite a bit and gone by way of Paiva. He's looking at about a minus 190 right now. Zhumagulov sitting at a plus 160. It's such an interesting fight because it's a very much a clash of styles. Paiva's such a great striker, can switch stances very well. It's a shame in his fight against Rogerio Bontorin that his eyebrow just escaped him, and that was the reason why he lost that fight. Comes back with a big win over Mark De La Rosa in his last time out. And for Zhumagulov, like I said, a big win streak coming in here. He's won 4 straight, won the belt over there with Fight Nights Global. What do you expect in this one? Because I think it's a sleeper for possibility of fight of the night.
I mean, there's just so many good fights on this card that's definitely not going to happen.
I could say that for everyone.
You could, but no. Like, even if this is the greatest fight ever, the UFC is not going to be like, and our fight of the night for one of our biggest cards of the year is to Paiva and Zhumagulov, who, you know, no. Okay, Paiva probably isn't going to win this fight just based off his style until you look at what he did against Mark De La Rosa, because I think that Mark De La Rosa fight can kind of tell us a little bit about this matchup, because Mark De La Rosa guy pushed the pressure, kind of reminds you of kind of Tim Elliott light, even if that's a thing, like kind of the Kirkland brand of Tim Elliott, because he's going to try to go for those scrambles. He's a good wrestler. He's okay on the feet. He just kind of does a lot. No matter what's happening in the fight, he's always doing something. And Paiva was able to just shut the lights out, and he beat the brakes off because his striking is kind of at that next level. Excuse me. And Zhumagulov is probably going to be able to get a hold of Paiva, take him down. If Paiva gets back up, just kind of do it again and again and again. Kind of Merab Dvalishvili him. But the thing is, Paiva has that one big bomb that you always have to worry about. And as his career's kind of progressed, it's crazy because he's only 24 and it seems like he's been around for quite a while. Kind of like Chase Hooper in a few years. Like, we'll see how good he gets. Paiva kind of reminds me of that because when he first came in the UFC, just kind of a really raw talent. And then you can kind of see how his skill set's starting to develop, at least as of late. I think Paiva's probably, if there's a finish, it'll probably be because of Paiva. I can see him probably not getting the submission, but maybe he can clip Zhumagulov and get the finish that way. More likely than not, though, Zhumagulov is going to grab that body lock, take him down, really wear on that cardio of Paiva, and just make this really draw it out for as long as he can, and should be able to win decision.
That's the thing. I mean, you look at the experience, and you might think, oh, well, Paiva, only 24 years old, and he has a number of fights, 6 more pro fights than Zhumagulov. But again, it's that toughness of the competition. I mean, Paiva has fought some decent talent so far in the UFC. A lot of regional experience, which you like to see out of fighters. Like you said, the Chase Hoopers, the Mickey Galls, maybe they didn't get enough exposure on the lower levels, but Raulian Paiva certainly did. But for Zhalgas Zhumagulov, overseas, he's been taking on some of the tougher guys that you can in some of the lower weight classes, which we've seen, especially with David Dvorak coming over. You never know what you're going to get out of a Czech fighter at 125 that has so much experience. Comes in against Bruno Silva and looks amazing. I think in this fight, and again, talking about the odds, Paiva's the favorite, and he opened as a slight favorite. If you look over in Tapology, out of 851 votes, it's actually the majority going with Zhumagulov, 57%, with 84% predicting a decision. I think Zhumagulov is just going to be able to wear on Paiva, and it's going to take an awful toll, especially for a guy who's so good on the feet and so young. You would expect that his gas tank's quite good, but I think Zhumagulov is just going to be that constant forward pressure that's really going to win him this fight.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to disagree with that, to be completely honest. I just think Paiva's going to have success in this fight. I do think it is a good fight for Zhumagulov coming into the UFC, just because Paiva's going to test you in some ways. It's not like he's just going to go out there and ragdoll him. Maybe he will, but I find that unlikely. So I think it's going to be a really good fight for him. It should be an entertaining one for as long as it lasts, but yeah, I think Zhumagulov's got this.
I'm the only one that's going to say it. Possible fight of the night, Raulian Paiva, Zhalgas Zhumagulov. You're not going to want to miss that, as well as the rest of our predictions for the entire card. UFC 251 coming at us this weekend from Fight Island. You're not going to want to miss it. Keep it locked in with Fight Night Picks, Matt, and as we always say, let's get into it.